Hello, everyone. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to begin our first of two lessons on dividing fractions. We split it up a little bit because dividing fractions is a little bit harder than multiplying fractions, in only that there's one extra step. There's one thing you have to do before you can divide. So, dividing fractions is very, very similar to multiplying fractions, almost identical. But the first thing you have to do is you have to find what's called a reciprocal. Because when you divide fractions, you must use multiplication and their reciprocal. And what a reciprocal is, are two fractions whose product is 1. When you multiply reciprocals together, you get 1. So let's say for 1/4, right here, you have 1/4. In order to get 1, when you multiply, you would need 4 over 1. Because let's see, 1/4 times 4 over 1. I multiply my numerators, I get 4. Multiply by denominators, I get 4. 4/4 equals 1. And if you notice, what I did in order to find that reciprocal is I just took my numerator and I took my denominator and I flipped them. That's it. My denominator of 4 went to my numerator. My numerator of 1 went down to my denominator. And that works for any fraction. Any fraction that you have, in order to find the reciprocal, you take the numerator, take the denominator, and flip them. So, for example, in order to do 5 divided by 1/4, I would need the reciprocal of 1/4. So my 5 stays the same. Remember, this is just over 1. I change my division to multiplication, and I use the reciprocal. I take my numerator and my denominator, and I flip them. So instead of 5 divided by 1/4, I have 5 times 4 over 1. Multiply my denominators, I get 1. Numerators, I get 20, equals 20. And we'll see more with whole numbers in a little bit. But what I want to show you now are just some examples of dividing two fractions. So when we're finding reciprocal, we always find the reciprocal of the second number, or the second fraction. Always. Because remember, this isn't addition and multiplication where it doesn't matter the order. In addition and multiplication, the order of our two factors or numbers that we're adding doesn't matter. In division, it does. So we always take the reciprocal of the second number. Always take the reciprocal of the second number. So for this problem, 5/6 divided by 4/7, what I would do is I would keep my 5/6 the same, change my division to multiplication. It's so important that you rewrite the problem, because you might end up still keeping that division and you'd be very, very confused. So important that you rewrite the equation. 5/6 stays the same. My division changes to multiplication. And then I need to take the reciprocal of 4/7. And what do I do to find a reciprocal? My denominator of 7 becomes my numerator. My numerator of 4 becomes my denominator. I just flip it. And now I know how to do this pretty easily. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 times 4 is 24. I need to regroup this. 24 goes into 35 one time with 11 left over. Can I reduce that anymore? No. And I'm done. I don't need to change anything back. I don't need to do anything else. I found my answer. Even though I ended up using multiplication, this is my quotient, 1 and 11/24. All right. What I want you to do is try the next two. 7/8 divided by 1/6 and 9/12 divided by 6/8. Try those two, come back with answers, and we'll check them out. All right? 3, 2, 1, pause. All right, and there you go. There you have it. 7/8 divided by 1/6. My 7/8 stays the same. I change my division to multiplication. 1/6. I take the reciprocal, flipping the top and the bottom. Numerator becomes my denominator. Denominator becomes my numerator. That is 6 over 1. 7 times 6 is 42. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 goes into 42 5 times with 2 left over. I can reduce that to 5 1/4. 9/12 divided by 6/8. 9/12 stays the same. Division to multiplication. 6/8 changes to 8/6. 9 times 8, 72. 12 times 6, 72 equals 1. All right, let's move on. And now we're going to see some mixed numbers, but we know what to do with mixed numbers, don't we now? We know that we need to change that mixed number into an improper fraction, just the same reason for multiplication. We need this whole number as part of our fraction. We're dividing that whole number too. So what we need to do here is change this into an improper fraction. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 5 is 37/8. I change my division to multiplication. My numerator becomes my denominator to make my reciprocal. Denominator becomes my numerator. 37 times 9 is 333. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 actually goes into 333 41 times, and there's 5 left over, so it's 41 and 5/8. All right, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? I want you to try the next one. Remember, which one do we always find the reciprocal of? The second one, even if that's a mixed number. We always find the reciprocal of the second one, even if it's a mixed number. All right. Come back with answers. 3, 2, 1. Pause. All right, everybody. Here are your answers. 6 3/4 divided by 2/7. You go all the way down to 23 5/8. 1/3 divided by 3 2/5. You go all the way down to 5/51. Great job, everybody. If you still have questions, please come find me. If you do not have any questions, move on to your practices. This is Mr. Tunnell signing off.